Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a little chilly down here in Texas. We got a cold front that came through, but I have Carly with me today that runs PunkRox Productions and all that. She's probably one of the best video editors and video content makers that I've seen, and she works along with me. We refer people back and forth and everything. And I wanted to bring her on here today to talk to some people and give some information about what she does and how important videos are in the recruiting process. Carly, how are you? How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Hey, Tommy, everything's good. Finally getting to be softball season up here. Snow's gone, and I think the kids are ready to finally get outside and play. Though it's going to be 30 tomorrow, so you can't win.
Yeah, there's not the Northeast is just it's
Brutal.
crazy to begin with.
It's all good.
So so tell us, how'd you get the name Punk Rocks?
PunkRox is named. I used to be Poof Productions. That was my production company for when I was young because I have very big curly hair, so I went with Poof. But then my first dogs ever were a pair of dogs named Punky and Roxy. And the two of them were just like two peas in a pod. And I took a picture of the two of them, and I'm like, that's my production company right there. So even though Roxy has since passed on and Punky's, 12 years old now, they're always going to be right there with me.
I hear you. And tell us a little bit about what you do. Get a little background, your softball background and everything, and how with that background you use it to make the unique videos you do.
Sure. So I have had two passions in my life, and one is softball and one is production. I played softball from the time I was about 3 years old. I played in college. I played club ball. I continued to play in adult leagues as I've gotten older, despite injuries and ailments and all that. And then I became a private lesson coach quite a few years ago. I started doing private lessons for catching and hitting. And finally, I got hired to do some analyst work for Princeton University and Monmouth University. So I found that I was immersed in this game that I've always loved, but my second love is production. I've been in production for now over 20 years. I was in Hollywood for quite a few. I worked on the shows ER, West Wing, Third Watch. I've won two Emmys working for Major League Baseball Network. Nominated for three more when I worked for MSG Varsity. So I've been immersed in that production world for a long time, along with sports as I've come along. And I have a young daughter, so I wanted something that gave me a little bit more flexibility while still being able to do something that I really loved. And I thought, well, how can I create this? And my husband and I sat down and I just kind of going over things. And I had toyed with this something similar years ago. But the difference between me going to through the recruitment process 20 plus years ago and the kids now is a different ball game. So these young children start at 14 years old, sometimes younger, sometimes a little bit older, and they need videos and they need them constantly. They need coaches to see their progress. They need coaches to see their maturity change. And I saw a niche, and I kind of went for it. I love to get kids to their goal. I love to watch these kids develop as athletes. And I have a few locally that I've worked with for several years, and I'm just enjoying watching them. And like every 3 months, like, we want new videos. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I have the ability to also film from a local standpoint. I live in the New York tri-state area, so I am able to film. Obviously, the United States is a very large area, but I'm able to guide a parent into the correct way to film it, make recommendations on timing, angle, all that, and then I take their content, clean it up, graphic it, and give them a polished content for their X page, their Instagram page, or wherever they need to post it.
I mean, I've a couple people that I work with and all that have they sing your praises because 'Cause I'm like, hey, look her up if you need videos and everything like that. And they're singing your praises. I've seen a few, they've sent me a couple of them to see and all that, but I'm like, hey, you got to use that in your
Oh,
emails.
thank you.
Video is so important right now. I mean, you could sit there and email people unless you have great video, and I mean good video, not video that's way far away where you can't see anything, or video that's cloudy and fuzzy and everything. You have to make it clear and everything, so coaches can see what all the little stuff that they want to see in them. And the nice thing is, like I said, you clean it up and make it sort of a fun thing and short, and that's what coaches want to see. I I've had some people that are, hey, like I have my 20-minute highlight video. I said, there's not a coach in the world that's going to sit there and look at 20 minutes of your video. I said, the one thing you want to do, you want to make a great first impression that catches their attention to where, okay, I'm going to watch this and evaluate. Because I mean, really quickly, they pick up on, okay, yeah, this is something that I might be looking for, or something that's just not going to work out. So, getting that stuff in there. How do you talk to parents about what you need in the videos?
So you actually kind of touched on it a little bit, right? This day and age is unique because game changers everywhere. Or in other sports, there's huddle, there's different things that these coaches have set up, and it's unique. But as a coach, as somebody who's coached athletes for years, you take a look at Game Changer and you can't see the structure of the swing. You can't see the way it's fielded. You can't see the spin of the pitch. You can see, okay, a kid hit a home run. That's great and that's important. But the reason why I talk to the parents, I'm like, I recommend these skills videos because it's going to be more of a close up of the batting stance, making sure the hands are the hips being loaded, making sure there's a split in the swing, making sure their body position is correct in the infield, and all that's captured in these skills videos. What I recommend to them, and I offer tons of options because some parents really just want tons of content to fill their pages, and that's fine. But what I initially recommend is a hitting skills video, which would include front toss, side toss from POV. It also will include game changer footage because you also still have to see it in action. The second video would be a primary position video. So if the athlete is a pitcher, we would get several of each pitch, at least 5 to 10 pitches, clean of each pitch, and then also game footage. So that's going to be the concept throughout. So I recommend the hitting, primary, secondary, and then you have the specials. You have kids who are slappers. You have kids who are like like the wind. They're so quick and they're stealing every time. Those are all specialty things and could also be offered. Again, all can be simulated on a field in a gym. Over the winter, I did several like in our turf at the facility I work at. Now the weather's getting better. You can go out on a field with a couple friends and film what is necessary on an iPhone. Boom, bang, done. That's all I need. Um, I also offer, so, there's some kids who don't understand, or some parents who are like, this new age X and Instagram thing is so important, but we don't know what to do. I want to fill the page with content. So I can clean up game changer footage. I can clean up, I put graphics in, cut it down, because they're always like a minute. Well, the play's about 10 seconds. You don't want the extraneous. So I'm able to offer that to them. I clean it up. I graphic it for them. It's got their information within the graphic bar. So if a coach is like, oh, if a coach is kind of looking through a page, they're like, oh, boom, it's right there. Because once you've gotten a coach's attention, they're going to be looking for that content on the page. So it kind of just gives them other options. I don't throw that at I offer it, but it's not like something that you got to do this. The skills videos are the ones I recommend most.
Sure, sure. Now, going back and some stuff, let's get into some recruiting now. Um, what do you see? I mean, you know what I do, and we've talked a lot about that. What do you see out there as far as the difference in recruiting, say today, just the 5 to 7 years ago?
You know, I wasn't as involved in it. You know, I was away from the sport for a long time. I can compare it to like when I played. High school sports and its importance has changed so drastically. When I was playing softball, club ball was really in its infancy. There was not a run on club programs like there is now. So now you have all these club programs, you have showcases that are national, you have stuff all over the country, like as young as say 10, 11 years old, where you got the World Series of softball, similar to the one in Cooperstown, similar to the one in Williamsport. You have all these other areas that these kids are getting seen that now parents don't even want to put their kids in high school sports with the risk of getting hurt. And I understand it, but I think it's important to be a well-rounded athlete and continue the sport because your teammates, you grew up playing with these kids. It's to just ditch them like that. I don't know. I'm like not of the school that I feel that you shouldn't play. I think you need to be playing both. But that being said, you're not recruited out of high school ball anymore the way you used to be. My high school was my representation as opposed to my club team. So when I went, there were in Edison, New Jersey, there was a huge tournament showcase where you were basically given a number put on teams. You've never met these kids before and expected to actually perform. You maybe played 1 inning or 2 innings of the actual position you played. I was stuck at right field. I don't play outfield. Couldn't play outfield to save my life. But that's the way it was done back then. So you would make a reel to reel VHS tape and send it out to the coaches and hope for the best. Whereas now, the invention of the internet and the social media world has changed the way it's done because coaches are inundated with thousands and thousands of emails. And these parents I see in these groups that are so frustrated for not getting email responses and stuff. You have to understand, right now, between January and May, coaches are in season. The chances of them actually reading or seeing an athlete is very, very small, unless there's an actual interaction with that player previously. So it's important for these parents to know you have to be on these social media pages. It's just so important. And to have someone like you, Tommy, somebody who can help guide them in this process, because it's a scary, scary world. And kids are clueless. They think, I want to play Division I softball. I want to play for Oklahoma. The percentage of kids that actually get to that point is so minuscule that you're doing a detriment to yourself. You have to be open to everything because there's new leagues, there's new rules, there's new information when it comes to scholarships. You just have to be smart about it and don't put yourself in this one little tiny corner and hope that you're going to make it. It's just not realistic.
Sure,
If you want,
it's
if you want to interview a scholarship from Oklahoma at 12, you're not getting one. I'm just saying right now.
yeah, well, hey, it used to be until they changed the rules. I mean, I I go back a couple years and they changed the rules. I mean, these schools were sitting there offering 12-year-olds
It's crazy.
scholarships and everything like that. And it's only a verbal, and then they can sit there, they watch them, and they weed them out after they've offered them and all that. They see them very good and all that and physically developed at 12 years old, and kind of hope that they keep working along the same range and all that. And yeah, they, I always said to my players and clients, I said, you may be the best 12-year-old in the world right now. Guess what? People are going to catch up to you, and people are going to work, people are going to want to be where you are, and I mean, you stop working a little bit, then hey, the world passes you by. But
I agree.
you know, people ask, the big thing right now is when should I start the recruiting process? And you know what? If you're a talented uh, eighth, ninth grader, you know what? I'm like, give me a call. Let's establish a baseline. Let's get your stuff out there around the nation so that I can put you on radar. Hey, here's this young lady right here. She's super talented. She works super hard, super kid, super student. Keep her on the radar. I'm going to be sending you updates on her. I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell her story to you through the updates of her progress, and you're going to
Agreed.
watch her grow up before your eyes. See, that makes it easy. Um to
I agree with you
for
on that,
that,
Tommy. I,
huh?
I agree with you on that, Tommy. But I think there's two sides to this. I think if a kid is that driven and wants to, I think the parents can't, it can't be driven by the parents. That's my
Sure.
first piece of advice. It's got to be driven by the kid. And yes, you can start young, you're watching the progression, but then there's also parents out there that don't know and they're starting their junior year, and that's all right too. There's, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do this, aside from if your kid loves it. If your kid loves it and wants to do it, it's got to be driven by them, obviously supervised by the parents. But just completely lost what I was just gonna say. But it's so important that you got these kids have to be well rounded. That's one area, and I think you and I have talked about this. It's not just softball, 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 because to me, a coach is going to look at that and say, well, is this kid introverted because they literally only know the game of softball and nothing else? I think it's so important for them to be involved in drama or in club. I'm in the math club or I play other sports. I think that's important as well as a parent. I think it makes them well-rounded and a better athlete and teammate in the long run.
Oh, sure. I mean, we'll throw it into like the multi-sport thing. People have their different things. Different recruiting companies are telling kids to specialize. I will tell you what. Not until and my cousin Krista, who was the captain of the women's Olympic volleyball team, was an awesome hoops player too. And I'm going to tell you what, wasn't until her junior year of high school that she knew that she was the best volleyball player in the nation, and went to
Yes.
Penn State, and was player of the year 3 years in a row. And
Amazing.
I mean, you couldn't beat them. But every basketball coach, every women's basketball coach in high school was like, I'm so glad that she finally gave it up and went into volleyball because
Yeah,
she just
seriously.
but the whole thing was, I mean, that over and she talks about it. Yeah, she said it was hard for me to do, except for, you know what? I mean, she was on every club team and national team and international team imaginable. She just didn't have time for the basketball anymore. She
Yeah, but
still
that's when you
loved
get to
it.
a certain point. Like
Yeah,
you're not doing that at 12 years old. I mean, a small percentage,
exactly.
but like, yes, you have to eventually make a decision. But I think at 12
Exactly.
years old, you got to be well rounded. That's at the very least.
Yep, exactly. But you know what? I love my kids that do multi sports. I'm going to tell you what. They have their time away from it, so when they go into it, they're refreshed.
Yeah.
You know, the kids that go year round, and believe me, I have kids that are in the major leagues when they were in high school and playing for me, and it's like, you know what, we gotta shut it down for a little bit. You've been throwing for playing for 8 9 months. Guess what? Your
It's done.
body, your mind gets tired.
Oh
It's
yeah.
time for you to refresh. Man, go out bowling, go out with the have
Be a
fun with
kid.
it. I mean, yeah, you could do your stretches, you could do all that stuff, do all the stuff to keep you in shape and all that. I just want you away from the sport to relax and kind of take things in. And that
100%.
decompression like phase and all that, man, I think it really helps. And you see kids when they come back from it, it's like, okay, now you
They
see
get it.
the burn again instead of somebody that's tired. And you can tell. I mean, I talk to the kids all the time, like your body language is telling me your body's tired, man, needs a break. I said you can't you may not see it, but I do.
Yeah. And it's important. It's so important to be, you see the onset of more of these programs having mental health as part of it, especially in college. I when I worked for Princeton, I usually call a game and it's I think it's considered like a suicide prevention. And I wear a shirt that says person athlete. It's just to remind you we're still human beings. We're not super superhuman and it can be a lot and you need to take care of yourself, not just your physical self, but your mental self. And it's on you and it's on your teammates, your coaches. A coach, they should be watching out for it as well, but then there's ones that don't. It's just you to be well rounded, that's part of it, is to um be just taking care of yourself. I think that makes a better athlete.
Oh
It's
yeah, coaches need to know your behaviors, your
oh yeah,
personality, and all that, and they need to take all that in. They need to be watching it and or cognizant of it, and what
100%.
so that you can pull them up. Let's talk about high school and travel now. I mean, I'm going to go back, and this is back when I was in Pittsburgh, and I was actually back at a school coaching baseball and football, and was assistant AD. And our
Okay.
AD and I had a conversation, and this goes back 15 years, Carly. Okay,
Okay.
and Pennsylvania had the PIA had a meeting and they were discussing about turning everything into straight travel and all that for high school. Means you could sit there and go play anywhere in the state you wanted to. You could run it just like travel ball. The only thing that kept them from doing this was the sport of football and what it meant to the communities up in
Oh yeah, wow.
Pennsylvania. I mean, it's like
Baseball
you're gonna
dictates all. I mean, football dictates all. So
yeah, they are king in Western Pennsylvania. I will say, and in Pennsylvania, yeah, and yeah, as well they should be. I mean, I could just have seen the wars that would have gone on to get these players in Pennsylvania. Oh, hey, hey, come from Pittsburgh over to Philly and play for us, and and you got and everything
but
like that.
how?
That was the
How?
only thing that kept Pennsylvania from being the first. Okay, we're all in. This is what we call our. It would have been travel high school or
It doesn't
whatever
make
like that.
sense.
It's crazy, but I'm going to tell you what, it's coming. Look at how everything is now with
How do you coordinate
all the
that?
high schools that have NILs
Ugh.
and you have an NIL, but for the longest time it was like if you transferred for athletic purposes you were not allowed you had to sit out a year
Yeah, that's how it used to be. Yeah, but not anymore. Right? Not anymore.
or they declined it. I mean, I watched these big time things go through the PIAA and the WPIL and get judged on, and I'm like, man, if you listen to me, this is real easy. If you can't see that this kid is this good kid from a 2A school is one of the best players, but yet he's at a 2A and now he's transferred. I mean, parents have nothing to do with it, whatever. But mysteriously, an address just showed up in that 6A school district and everything like that. Guys, come on now. I mean, let's be smart about it and everything. You
It
should
makes
have put the
sense.
kibosh on that right away and kept it. But you know, things like that and go on at the high school. I mean, softball. I'll tell you what they have no comprehension because of the kids that move in football. You know, kids move from California to Georgia, from yeah, from state to state to sit there and find better schools and better
Crazy.
money deals and
That's
everything.
crazy.
They they move to states that have NIL stuff in high school now. That's money will always be the big thing. And even if you look in the softball, baseball, football groups, all those groups that I'm in and you're a part of too. I mean, you know what? It's the biggest thing, and I always say it, is you got to check the three boxes. Number one, and this is not for a parent, this is kid wise. Your kid loves that program in that school, and that program in school wants you. Two, academically, have to have your major. I see this being a big problem right
That's a
now.
huge problem. Huge
Uh,
problem.
schools are like, well, hey, I don't have aeronautical engineering and everything like that, but I have something just like it. Then the kid goes in there and
There's
within
nothing.
four weeks figures it out. This is nothing like what I want to do. Number one, there comes the unhappiness there goes to the softball program, then goes to they don't like the school that they're at. Let me get out of here. So that academic thing. And the third thing is you have to love the campus and the environment where you're at. If you can be happy with everything, but I'm going to tell you what, if you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, moving across campus, talking to people, interacting with them, being
Uh,
social and everything like that, guess what? It's going to put a kibosh on something. So I always tell my kids, okay, let's go. You're telling me you made your choice. Let's check the boxes on everything. And if there's
100%.
something there, I'm like, oh, you might want to go explore it. But when it's there, I'm like, hey, you have your answer and everything. Another big thing is I don't think that parents and quite know how the finances work at all the different schools and everything like that. I see so many D3 schools getting put down on, and I'm going to tell you what: if you are not a Division 1 player, and even if you are at times, because I have Division 1 talent playing Division 3 baseball, softball, football, because number one, the money they get academically far outweighs the money that the Division 1 school will do it. And number one, the Division 3 school is going to give them a better education. They realize I'm not going to be,
I
uh,
agree.
women's professional softball, MLB or NFL or anything. You know what? When I get done, I'm going right into the workplace. So what is going to give me the best way to enter the workforce and all that? So, I mean, there's so many questions and all that, and you know, and I see like your comments and everything like that. Hey, and I'll go on. I'm like this right now. Instead of just commenting, I'm like, look, if you want to sit there and figure all this out, give me a call. Let's evaluate. Let me tell you about what I do and everything like that, and I can help you. A lot the same is like you. I mean, I see your comments. Guys, you got to understand you need great videos in this too. People should be DMing and that
Well, I see a
should be
lot of these. Oh, sorry. Go
because
ahead.
because there are so many people that I mean, like I'll talk to these kids when they're young, and the parents are like, "Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we think we can do all that, and don't worry, we have it covered." Then I get called midway through their senior year, and they're like,
Yep.
"This has not worked out the way that we thought, and we yeah, definitely need some help." I mean, now you're desperate, and you know what, a lot of things are done and established then. So I mean, you have to prop make prop 98% of you are going to go to a school that you probably wouldn't have been going to if we had done this the
Yep.
right way, gone through the steps and taken you there and gotten you into a school that you wanted to go to.
I agree 100%.
So
100%.
yeah, I mean and it's crazy. It gets crazier all the time. Um, I'm waiting for the fallout with the NCAA basketball tournament. I haven't heard it. Yesterday, I was all impacted with the U.S. and Dominican game last night, and
Yeah, I
it
saw
was
US one.
my boy that pitched for me in high school, David Bednar. Everybody's texting me, why has he got to make it so interesting before he sits there and gets out? I said, yeah, him and Mason Miller, another kid that was from Western Pennsylvania who I watched
Oh, no
play
kidding.
and all that
That's
growing
awesome.
up. Well, hi- great story. Do you know his story,
No, I
Terry?
don't. No, I
This
don't.
kid was at Bethel Park High School, barely got a lot of innings there, but he was a kid that threw, 87, 88 miles an hour and all that, but didn't get his innings. He played travel ball, but he went to a Division III school right down the road from him called Waynesburg.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, I've heard of it.
He goes to Waynesburg, and all of a sudden this kid grows 5 inches, puts on 35, 40 pounds. Next thing you know, he's throwing 96, 97 miles an hour
Whoa.
there. And well, it's time to move on. He moved to my good friend Jim Chester's place down at Gardner Webb. And I mean, Jim Chester was fine. It was fine. I knew he'd be watching last night. He was like, "Yep." Yeah. He said, "Yeah, Credos, Mason." But yeah, I mean, this kid started at a D3 school. Now he's the best closer in Major League Baseball.
Go figure. It's
Yep.
That's it. It's just honestly, I think so much of athletics is what you make of it. You know, I think that can be said for anything. Like what I went to a small D3 school that had the program I wanted, but it wasn't USC or or UCLA film school, but I wanted it and I wanted to make it work and now I have two Emmys. Like it's what you make of it. Now, and that's with athletics so much. I have a girl that I've trained her for 5 years. And she's worked her butt off. She struggled for so long with her swing and she struggled with dropping her arm throwing and she worked her butt off. And she's now a freshman at Widener in Pennsylvania. And she first game started as a catcher. Her second game she started in center field, and her third at bat she hit a home run. So she's busted her butt, and she's grateful. It's got her major. I think it's biomedical engineering. Smart kid, and did got a scholarship for a smaller school because she's it worked for D3, and she's on a great path. She loves the coach, she loves the program, she's aced her first semester. It's like, we're not going to play professional softball. You said that. But you can play softball in college and enjoy yourself, and make it part of continue to make it part of your life.
It's
And
a
I think that's super important.
it's a whole new network. I try to tell people, I said, when you play a sport in college, you have to remember there's tons of alums that are there that number one, oh, okay, now here's this person, and man, they're, you know what, they're going to be looking for a job right up our alley. That's why I said senior year, when all the alums come and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to have another softball, baseball, football player, come and work at the company and everything like that." There's your network. I mean, I will tell you what, and I know that colleges have good college placement stuff coming out and all that. Not near as good as that network if you're an athlete in college.
True. It's true.
Athletes take care of athletes, and and
True.
and that's just how it is.
It's true.
But
Parents got to
you
keep being
you
proactive. That's all.
you hit one of the great things, and I say it all the time. I'm like, it used to be 7% about went to go play in college. Now with the transfer portal, and even in softball, yes, there's huge numbers of girls in the transfer portal and
100%.
everything like that. And there's girls coming from JUCOs,
Yep.
and they're older. They're going to get looked at if they have a resume. I have people that are like, I haven't played in 2 years, and I'm looking to transfer. I'm like, you have no resume. I mean, you have two at bats and everything like that. I said, in all seriousness, I said, yeah, I just have to be truthful. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to really tell a story. And I mean, they're going to be like, okay, Tom, well, how come they didn't play? That's the whole thing right there. I have all these people that I have stats on and everything else, and why is this young lady or this young man better? And parents, you're not going to tell the story because you're biased. Believe me. Um, I tell all my parents when I sign their kids to be clients. I'm like, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. We'll be in contact with you and let you know what we're doing. They're recruiting this young lady or this young man, and I said they'll talk to me because I'm going to be unbiased. I'm going to tell them exactly. They've known me. I'm a proven commodity for 17 years of sending kids out, all around. I mean, but the whole thing is getting back to it with all of that. I mean, now you're at probably just slightly a little over five girls softball wise. 5% of all the girls playing softball in America that's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, NAIA, and JUCO. Okay.
A
So
lot of
if you're
kids.
one of that 5%, it doesn't matter what level. I
No.
say you're one of the top 5%. Bam,
Yeah.
give yourself a hand. 95% of the other girls in America are gonna love to sit there and trade places with you
Yeah.
because
True.
they're getting their pink slips. That's what I call it when you get told, guess what? Your athletic career is done. I mean, it happens. Some kids at 13, they burn out, some at 18 after high school, and then mostly 99 over 99% after college. Less
I
than
believe that.
1% go on to play anything
So
professionally.
so small. So small.
Well, unless you're a power four thing now, because that is with everything they have going on there, it's straight professional in the college things, and it's not going to be for long. Because I'm going to tell you what, uh, the big guys that and the power fours, the real top 20 and all that, they're going to get their money and they're going to go and they're going to be that minor leagues for professional sports because number one, there's the money involved in it. And the whole thing is they don't have to worry about NCAA or anything else. They can provide their own rules, regulations, and guidelines.
Yeah, crazy.
So there's where we are right now. But man, I'm so glad to get you on and have you explain what you do. Anybody, if you need videos done, get a hold of Carly or get a hold of me. I will get a hold of her for you. She does just the best work. And I mean, my people are so happy with their videos. And when I see them, I'm like, well, there you go. Yep. Yeah, I mean, now you have something that you can actually see everything that you're doing. So I appreciate you coming on and
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
and,
That was
and
very kind
talking
of
a
you.
little bit. And yeah, if you need anything, give me a yell.
Thank you so much. This was awesome, and I'm here to help. I want to get these kids recruited. That's my goal. Because my daughter won't
Awesome.
play softball.
She won't.
Nope.
What's she like to do?
Gymnastics.
There you go.
So we'll go with that. But I want to get everybody else's kid recruited.
I will. Well, I will tell you what. If you're actually smart as a parent, you should get your kid involved in gymnastics as young as can be because it teaches overall body
Oh
control
yeah,
and how to work your body and know your body. Uh, things that little things that will help later in life.
true. Very true. Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much, Tommy. I appreciate it.
All right. Hey, take care, Carly, and
Too.
I will talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tommy.
Yep.
Take care.